You don't want to know what's going on in this photo. Honestly, I have no idea how this girl is still smiling. It was February 1996 in Pennsylvania. 14-year-old Tanya Catch lived in the area with her dad and his girlfriend. Now, she was a beautiful and bright girl, but she just was not happy. Parents split up when she was little and she had very little to do with her biological mum. And for whatever reason, she also didn't get on with her dad or her stepmom. She was kind of just isolated. She was at a very tricky age, you know, just desperate for affection and acceptance and love. And that put her in a very vulnerable position. Now, she even felt shunned at school. She didn't really have many friends, nobody that she could confide in or talk to. Again, just made her feel like an outsider. Wherever she was, whether it was home or at school, she just wasn't welcome in her eyes. So in order to cope, she started drinking. And obviously, we know that just makes things a whole lot worse. No matter how hard she tried at school, she just couldn't make friends. And she decided, what is even the point in trying? And she started bunking off. So she did this a couple of times, and she was kind of known to like run away for the day occasionally. And obviously this made things a lot worse with her dad and her stepmom. Then the one day she was bunking off and she bumped into the school security guard, Tom Hose. She was like, oh my God, I'm going to be in so much trouble. She froze. She was praying like, please don't dob me in. She was bracing herself for it, honestly, but the opposite happened. Tom chatted to her and was really nice. And he was like, don't worry, I'm not going to get you into any trouble. I know what you kids are like. I've got a son who's just 2 years younger than you. Bear in mind, she was 14. She thought, oh my God, this is so cool. Like an actual adult being nice to me. Better still, he not only didn't report her for skipping class, but he started giving her presents. She'd never had anybody care for her in this way, in her mind. Suddenly he's showering her with jewelry, sweets, sometimes even like cash. She was like, I've won the jackpot here. We know he was grooming her. Then one day, out of the blue, this creep kissed her. He was a grown man, but she was kind of already under his spell. I mean, she was really loving the freedom that he gave her, and also obviously the cash and the gifts. He started to convince her that they could have a really good life together if they just run away. He was like, me and you, we've got a connection. You don't get on with your parents. We could just have a better life somewhere else. He sold her the absolute dream. He was like, you don't have to worry about going to school. You can have unlimited money. She sadly fell for it. But reality was so far removed from the promises that he made. He actually lived in this grotty house with his parents and his son. So it was A, obviously a real squeeze, and B, he obviously had to hide her. She was kept hidden. She couldn't leave the house. She couldn't even properly go to the toilet. She had to use a bucket. She was only fed leftovers that Tom could kind of like sneak into her. It was a vile existence, way worse than before. By the time she realized she'd made a terrible mistake, it was too late. She was trapped. This monster would eventually start to SA her constantly. He would convince her she was worthless and even threatened to kill her if she tried to escape. And frustratingly, because she had this history previously of running away, police really didn't want to know when she was reported missing. They kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, well, she's probably just gone of her own accord. And I guess she did, technically, like she wasn't bundled into a car or anything. But is it really of your own accord if you're a child and you're groomed by an adult? For years, she was kept hostage, agonizingly close to her home, just 2 miles away. But she might as well have been a million miles away, because honestly, no one was looking. As the years went on, Tom kind of got more confident and took his eye off the ball a little bit. I see this in so many cases where kidnappers get sloppy as they get more confident and think they're getting away with it. When Tanya turned 18, he almost got a bit cocky and started introducing her to people. I mean, it was very risky, but he obviously thought that he was just going to get away with this. He figured, she's under my spell now, like she's never going to run away. He even gave her a new name, Nikki, which does really remind me of the JC Lee Dugard case that I covered on my podcast, a very, very similar story. But in March 2006, everything was about to change. Finally, Tanya got the courage to tell someone. Now, she was 24 by now, and I think she kind of got to the point where she was thinking it's now or never. She was at a local deli and she'd just been allowed out for a short period of time to grab some food, I believe. She got talking to a sweet older couple. Suddenly she was like, guys, can you help me? I'm Tanya. They were like, what do you mean, Tanya? And she was like, I'm Tanya Cash, the girl who went missing. If you look on Google, you will find me. Stunned, they were like, "Oh my god, of course we'll help you," and they immediately went to the police. The gig was up and Tom was arrested, and the sick truth was revealed to everyone. But shockingly, he was only given 15 years in prison and then was released. Maybe even more shockingly to me, Tanya's own dad totally blamed her for her own disappearance. He was vile to her. He said it was her fault, and unsurprisingly, Tanya has no contact with him anymore. She now spends her time advocating for other victims.